what is going on, webheads? Roundaway here. And yeah, finally, after years of waiting, the Devil May Cry Netflix anime by the same studio that did Castlevania is officially released, and I watched it, and I'm gonna give my thoughts and opinions on it. This isn't like a full review technically, but you know, just my thoughts so far on season 1. One thing I'm glad they did, I'm glad they just released, you know, all 8 episodes straight up and didn't make us wait. I mean, it would have been cool, but you know, I think I just preferred this, you know what I mean? Especially with Netflix, I just have trauma with JoJo specifically. If you remember part 6, how it just took forever to come out, but anyway. Was it worth the wait in all the years of just like, you know, waiting and wanting this? Because this has been in development, or I guess, well, talked about being in development for years at this point. Was it worth it? Kind of, I guess. I don't know. You'll see what I mean. Like I said, this is similar to Castlevania in many ways. Like, the main guy working on this was behind Castlevania, and the same animation studio. And it even takes some of the, like, the elements from Castlevania, basically meaning, like, this is like a completely non-canon story to Devil May Cry. But it does take a lot of elements from, like, games here and there, obviously. Like, you know, everyone's pointed it out, like, it just takes a bunch of different things from Dante's design. You know, the enemies he's fighting in this anime are, like, several of the bosses from previous games, several of the enemies, etc. Even, like, story beats. However, it doesn't beat you over the head with it, which is what I like. I was really worried from, like, the first couple trailers that it was gonna be like, oh, here's the thing you like, guys, this is the thing you like. But no, it actually just, like, it's just kind of in the background, and it's just like, if you know this, cool, but if you don't, it doesn't really matter. And the story itself isn't really complicated or anything, which, I mean, is good, because, you know, if you want people who have never played the games to get into the games, that's a good thing, you know what I mean? Just, this is just a fresh slate. And even so, Devil May Cry's never really had that complex of a story anyway, you know what I mean? Not that it's a bad thing, that's the reason why the series is popular, like, in the first place, you know what I mean? You can kind of just play any of the games on any order, and there is lore and story, but it doesn't really matter unless you just want to really, like, dig into it. The main story elements they take from the game is just, you know, Dante and Virgil's backstory, which, I mean, you kind of need for it to happen, and also, like, Sparta's origin. And the story kind of takes from DMC3 with a little bit of DMC4 in there too. DMC3 is like a big influence. Like, a lot of the scenes and stuff are referencing 4. I mean 3. Oops, my bad. I would say the plot itself isn't really anything to write home about. You know, it's like, basically the plot of it is just like, okay, the White Rabbit dude, he's trying to steal Alistair, and, you know, to, like, separate the, or he's trying to, like, merge the demon realm and the human realm again after, you know, Sparta, like, separated it. And he has one part of the amulet, I'm assuming Virgil's part, you know what I mean? And then Dante, you know, he wants to seek out Dante to get his half of the amulet, which he basically ends up doing. All the while, you know, the government gets involved, and unlike DMC5, where it's just a straight up, like, normal government trying to stop the demons, the government secretly has, like, they've been doing, like, demon research and, like, have, like, this, like, anti-demon task force and shit. So basically, it's like a battle of, like, Dante versus the White Rabbit, and then, like, you know, the military are in it. And they want to, like, capture Dante, because they want to know, like, you know, who is this guy? And he's, like, the son of Sparta and shit. And, like, he's basically the cause for all this, like, indirectly, you know, because they're trying to get his amulet, his necklace. They do the whole thing of, like, you know, oh, it turns out that the U.S. military trying to stop the demons are actually, you know, they're a bit of their own demons. They're a bit, like, mean to the demons and stuff. Like, it's like that sort of thing. Like, I'm not really making fun of the plot, because it is interesting. I do like the idea of, like, you know, the government actually having, like, a secret organization that, like, tries to hunt down demons. But it ends up not really being utilized that well, because it's just, like, half of them, spoiler alert, just end up dying. The only one that really sticks is Lady, which, oh god, Lady in this. I'll get to her in a minute, but yeah, it's your pretty standard cookie cutter plot, but hey, it's as complex as a season 1 needs to be for a Devil May Cry anime. And it's only 8 episodes, you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing super crazy, or like, it's not like dumb in any way. I'm gonna get into the characters real quick. So obviously, we got the main star of the show himself, Dante, and I love Dante in this anime. They did him perfectly well. Like, he's really funny, you know, he's got, like, his quips and one-liners and stuff, but he's not really annoying. Like, I feel like Dante is a character where if you don't know how to, like, balance him properly, he could be really annoying. but like that hasn't really been the case, but that's just a thing that can happen. I feel like it's easy to mess up Dante, right? And this, they got him perfect. I wasn't sure about Johnny Youngbosch voicing Nero at first, you know what I mean? I think most of us had to get used to it after Nero, but I don't know. I like the energy he brings, especially for like a younger Dante. It makes sense. Like this Dante's personality, it's like a mix of like 4 and 5 and 3 Dante. Maybe 3 is just like appearance-wise and him being like young and naive and stuff, but he's really funny in this. He has a lot of good scenes. Like, he's Dante through and through, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about Dante not acting like Dante. The only thing that is a little weird about him is him saying, like, referencing, like, media and pop culture, because Dante doesn't really do that. Sure, the DMC games, they do take place in, like, the modern era, but they don't really, like, you know what I mean? They just kind of, like, exist. They don't really reference anything. But, yeah, other than that, like I said, Dante is perfect. I like his design a lot. Like, it really grew on me. I thought it looked a little weird, maybe because he just has, like, a bunch of elements from the different games, but I think he's fine. And I would honestly be down to hear, like, Dante as, or I guess Johnny Youngbosch as Dante in future games or something. Another thing about Dante, too, like, he is, you know, really capable in combat like he always is, but he's a little underpowered in this anime. But I mean, it makes sense because, you know, it is him, like, it's his first time, like, really doing stuff like this, and it's also an anime because, you know, they have to make him lose at some point. It can't just be like the games where, like, every cutscene he's just, like, completely shitting on every enemy, you know what I mean? Like, he has to lose some fights or else it would just get kind of boring. Next character who I ended up liking way more than I thought is actually the White Rabbit himself. Like, he's just really funny. I've never, like, what's it called? I never read the DMC3, like, manga, like, the original prequel manga, which is, like, that's where he's from originally. But here, he's just really funny, because he's, like, your stereotypical, like, over-the-top villain. And I just find him funny. I mean, look at his design. He's just, like, a rabbit in a suit with a monocle. He's, like, just really sinister and evil and British. Like, you know what I mean? He's just a really fun character. I just like seeing him, like, fight and interact with the rest of the cast. And, like, I mean, he's not really super complex or deep, but I just think he's, like, cool, honestly. I don't know. I would like to see this guy appear in, like, an actual game or something. Next character, or I guess group I want to talk about is the Task Force, you know what I mean? I forget, they're called, like, DarkCon? Yeah, DarkCon or DarkCom or something. They kind of fucking suck. Like, we spend a lot of time with them for some reason, just to have, like I said, spoilers, half of them just get, like, slaughtered by demons. The only real member of it is Lady, and I fucking hate Lady in this. She is literally the worst part of this anime, dude. Like, they took Lady, who was, like, not a complex character. She's just, like, you know, people just like her, right? Like, she's just a charming character. But then just made her talk like the fucking angry video game nerd and just curse after every, like, sentence. And it's, like, really annoying. And she just says, like, a lot of, like, dumb, cringy-ass lines. And I'm just like, bro, like, she was literally probably the worst thing about this. I almost turned it off because I'm just like, bro, please just speak like a normal person for once. They just made her, like, this, like, stereotypical military tight ass. And it's just fucking annoying as shit. And I don't have a problem with cursing. Like, I mean, did you just hear what I said? Like, I love cursing, but it's just, like, it's too much in this. Like, it's just really off-putting. I can't really describe it without you just watching it. Real quick, I want to talk about the music. I really like the music in this anime, you know what I mean? Like, it already has that, like, 2000s, like, new metal aesthetic, and I think that fits the DMC series really well. You know, it's got bands like Evanescence, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit in the opening. Like, it's really good, and, like, they also have Rage Against the Machine too. But my only issue is just that it's gonna be a bitch for people if they try to do, like, a reaction video to this anime. But yeah, I like it a lot, and I even like the original music that they have for this anime specifically. You know, it has, like, the DMC3 vibe to it, or I guess anything, like, what's it called, DMC5. But it also has a little bit of, like, the Combi Christ, or however you say it, from DMC Devil May Cry, which, I mean, that's one of the few good things about that game. I really like Combat Christ in the soundtrack, and I think it's just, like, you know, they don't overuse the licensed songs, so they, like, specifically make sure to use it in certain moments that really, like, elevate it instead of just, like, you know, spamming licensed music, like, 24/7. The final thing I want to just, like, mention before we wrap this video up is the animation. Remember I said it, like, took a while for this to come out? And I feel like it wasn't really worth the wait. I think this is why. I was expecting the animation to be a little bit more similar to Castlevania. Don't get me wrong, the animation is, like, really good. Like, especially, I think it's above, like, average anime animation. It's really good at some points. Like, a lot of the fight scenes and choreography is really good. It's clear, you can, like, see exactly what's happening, you know what I mean? It's not just, like, visual effects overload, but I feel like some fight scenes are, like, hit and miss. Like, they're just a little, like, weird. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, they're not that impactful, or, like, just, there's just weird things. Mainly, any fight with, like, the boss demons, I'm just gonna call them, like, you know, the demons that are based off bosses from previous games, they literally are CGI, and it just looks really gross and nasty. And it's, like, it's not like the usual anime thing where it's, like, from far away, or certain shots are CGI. They're just CGI the entire time, so it just looks really fucking, like, weird. And yeah, I mean, it's not, like, Baki level CGI, like, don't get me wrong, like, it doesn't look like a fucking PS2 game. It kind of blends in with the environment a little bit, like with the 2D, but it's still clearly 3D. Enough for like people who aren't into anime, or like they're not super noticeable on this thing. Like they'll notice it's 3D and it just looks a little off. And I feel like some fights just don't have a lot of love put into like the like, I don't know, budget. I'm not gonna pretend I'm an animation expert like everyone on Twitter, you know what I mean? But overall, most of the fights, like I said, are pretty good. Especially I like the first fight scene, like where they're all like raiding Dante's like what's it called, his house or apartment or whatever. That scene was really good and fun. It has a lot of good moments. Dante being like, you know, acrobatic and like going behind them like on some Bugs Bunny shit and being like, yo guys, what are you shooting at? Like, you know what I mean? That shit was good. Also, especially the plane part, like where the plane gets like blown up and he has to like save all the people. Although that scene does kind of get ruined with the devil trigger shit, like, cause his devil trigger in this is CG as well, and it just looks really jarring and weird. But yeah, overall, I think this is a pretty decent anime. I feel like a lot of the issues I have really could get fixed with like a second season, which I mean, if you saw the end with Virgil, that's definitely teasing at like a second season of this shit. So I definitely hope they could like correct a lot of the errors, maybe make the animation a little bit more smoother. You know, like maybe it doesn't have to be like season 1 of Castlevania, because that shit is like next level, like insanely smooth, but this is just like, it just needs a little touching up here and there. I'd be down to wait a little bit longer for season 2 if the animation's better. But that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts on this anime are, if you like it or dislike it. It's pretty mixed right now, but I think most people like it, you know what I mean? They're just happy to see, like, a proper DMC anime. I did a review on the original one from 2007, if you want to check that out. Also, sorry, because I tried to put some footage here, but, you know, like, copyright's a fucking bitch on YouTube, so, yeah, but that's gonna be it. See ya.